All right, guys, so we are live. All right, we are up and running, I believe. Hey, John Jensen, nice to have you here. Merrick, hello. You were on Facebook. Thank you for letting me know. I will make an. Actually, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'll make a note of that. Let me write this down. Give me one sec here. Where is. I know I had. Oh, here we go. I was like, I knew I had something to write on. Okay, let's see. Paper and where? I swear I had a pen. Here we go. Sorry, guys. All right, Merrick is Facebook. Thank you. I did message some folks regarding. So obviously we're having the February contest, right? So the contest this month is a little bit run a little differently. Um, so it's run a little differently than usual. So I asked a couple people if they're on Facebook or web. So that is going on right now. My game plan for today is we're going to keep the live pretty short today. I'm planning on also having a short live tomorrow as well. Currently, there's no plans on having a winner today or tomorrow. Hopefully, that doesn't affect if you want to hang out or not. It's cool either way. But for right now, this week, there is a plan to have a live today and tomorrow. And then I'm off the next 2 weeks. So I'll be back in the first week of March. In that first week of March, we're going to have the contest winners for February. So just a rehashing of that. I'll probably say that a couple times, but I just want to get that out there early. So if you're rewatching this live stream right at the beginning, you're kind of up to date with what's going on. Today's live, the plan is kind of just checking on Hero Wars stuff. I'm also going to ask for some of you guys' advice on a couple of things because Hero Wars actually asked me to do some things for Facebook and web players. I'm reaching out to, okay, let me back up. There's a lot of Hero Wars updates. So I will get into that. Let me also just post this live stream into the Discord before I go any further here. Don't want to leave anyone out if they're just waiting on me to post the link. So we will do that. Thank you guys for hitting that like button as you hop in. And I've also been noticing a huge uptick in likes on my videos, which I really appreciate. It also really helps the algorithm. YouTube's been they've been sending me a lot of emails saying like, you've been doing great. So appreciate all of that from you guys. Very, very helpful. So I just want to thank you guys again. And, if you guys keep doing that, that's awesome. So, yes, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for hitting that like button. Much, much appreciated. Okay, so we posted the live stream link into our streams. The other thing I just want to really kind of get off my chest before I get into things. Okay, so obviously we have Hero Wars Facebook and web, Hero Wars mobile as well. So they're kind of different platforms. Obviously, Facebook and web are a lot more similar. Mobile is a little different. Now, the reason I am mentioning that is because I currently am a content creator for Facebook and web. And I applied recently, reapplied to mobile. I actually applied when they first started the program. I never heard back from Hero Wars Nexters. So I emailed them recently, hoping to get put in that status of also a mobile content creator, which is funny because a lot of their mobile content creators, like, some of those guys don't even play Hero Wars Mobile, which is very interesting. I actually do play Hero Wars Mobile, but I just want to, point that out. I am working on contacting with Nexters to figure that out. Facebook and web, though, they did ask me to try to have some content for newer players because I guess they're saying they're having an influx of players who are starting Hero Wars but are, having trouble with advancing. So one of my things that I'm going to talk to you guys about is going to be kind of my thoughts on it. And I'm going to also probably make a video here very soon, drop it probably potentially as soon as Monday, maybe even sooner, depending on when I make it. I'm thinking about making a video talking about, players when they first start playing Hero Wars, right? So a lot of you guys are already pretty advanced. But when you start playing Hero Wars, you just, you finish the Arachne event, which is just spending a bunch of energy. And then you're kind of like, what heroes do I focus on? So I'm kind of thinking about making a video on that. And I'd love to hear some of your insights as well, because I have my thoughts. But if you guys have some thoughts, feel free to throw them in the comments. I will go to the comments in a second here, but I just wanted to start off by kind of saying all that to make sure I got it out there. Okay. All right. Now let me go to the comments now, and I can also close. Oh, I'll close the Discord in a second, but I want to get to that in a second. Let me get to some comments here. John Jensen's in the house. We got Merrick in the house. Facebook, I got you written down. Gary, hello. Nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. We've got Incognito. Didn't know we were having a stream today. Yes, we are. Merrick says, I beat a 6-star totem level 120 team in TOE this week with my 3-star 108. Congrats. Very nice, Merrick. That is impressive. Prax, hello. Nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. Francis Zegan, hello to you. And he says hello to everyone else in chat as well. Incognito says that's great. Some of those can be tough to beat. Yeah, no, for sure. Some of those Tournament of Element opponents, especially like surprisingly like level 3, even level 1 once in a while, you see some really strong totems you're just not anticipating. So very, very nice job beating a higher level totem, which is very difficult to do. Yes, thank you, Francis. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm trying to put out more content. I will be a little bit quieter the last 2 weeks here. I do have a couple of things planned. Again, I'm going to be on vacation for the last 2 weeks of February, but once March hits, there will be continual stream of content, at least for the foreseeable future. Obviously, I did kind of not get burned out, but I definitely had a little less time a couple months before. So now we're getting back into the swing of things here, back to regularly scheduled videos for sure. Rantop, hello, nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. We got Mr. Big in the house. Mr. Big, I actually have to hit you up later I'll hit you up in Discord. Either later today after the stream or tomorrow. I gotta follow up with something on you. You probably aren't aware. I'll follow up with you on something. All good though. All good stuff. Anthony, hello. The Terminator is in the house. Nice to have you here, Anthony. Appreciate you hopping on. All right. Hey, CalNap. Nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. He says hello to everyone as well. Francis says Julius will be getting a romantic skin. Thinking Polaris is another candidate for a romantic skin. That would be pretty cool in my opinion. So I'd be all for it. I'm a big fan of Polaris. Again, I'm really I do have one qualm with Hero Wars right now, but I'll get to that a little bit later. Obviously, mobile. We need to be partners. Here, figure that out, please. I've been making mobile content for a minute now as well. Anyway, all right. Merrick says, the first time I won against that strong team. Very, very nice. Rodney Parker, nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. All right, before I get into the content of what we got going on today, I do want to make sure I point out. So obviously the contest is live, and HD Dragon, I got you, Rodney. You just got added. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to add you to the wheel yet. I will add you, but we're not going to have a winner from that particular wheel today or tomorrow. So you're good. You still have plenty of time to enter before the end of February. But I want to make a note here. So in the Discord, I did add everyone other than Rodney, who I got added. I will put you in, just not yet. I just want to make a demonstration here. So everyone who does, when they get added to the picker wheel, you'll see that I add a little J versus Hero Wars, not emoji, but a reaction to each one of these. So that will indicate to you guys that you've been added to the picker wheel. And right, if you want to take a quick look, I just wanted to point this out. So the Discord part of the wheel is almost done. I'm going to add in you right now, Rodney. I'll add you right now. So we got Rodney, and I typically like to leave the name of the user as is. So we're going to open the list here. Go to the February Facebook official. So right now what I have up, these are all the players who've entered via Discord. So I haven't put the YouTube in. I haven't put the subscribers in. Obviously, Mr. Big, Tanya, right, are I say subscribers. Sorry. These supporters, as in like, they're members of the channel or whatever. So those guys I haven't put in yet. So there's no Ys yet, but all you can see here, all the Discord D entries are here. And we're going to put HD Dragon in as well. And what I do here is that this is the Facebook. We're going to add it up or save it. There's the Facebook contest list. So this is the Facebook contest list. And these are all the Discord entries right here, right? So they all have the D at the end. The next list of the next people that I need to still add, right? And then once I'm done with these, I need to make sure he gets his little reaction saying that he is entered officially. So those are all the Discord names, right? Now, once I'm done with that, I will go to YouTube and do the same thing with a YouTube video And what I'll do is, let's say, for example, I'm just going to use my own initial, right? I'm just going to say J, right? And once I'm in, I will have a YouTube contest indicator here. So Y means YouTube. So you can have up to 3, just to reiterate, because someone asked me about this. So obviously, if you enter in Discord, you're going to have that D right after you as well. And then if you are a member, right, that means you have paid, I think it's 99 cents. Right, and just to help the supporters out, well, supporters helping me out, but I always like to add an extra entry, so you can have up to 3 entries: YouTube, Discord, and member, aka subscriber. So that's how I'm gonna go about it regarding this, just so it's very clear. I want to say I made sure I went through this whole process. I'm gonna take myself off of this, obviously, but that was just a sample of how we're gonna do it. And obviously, yes, Rodney, you are added, but that is a sample of how I'm gonna do it. So if you see that mark, you are officially added. The other thing that I have to do, and just so you're aware of what I'm doing as well, YouTube does flag comments, so I actually have to occasionally, when I am going through, sorry, give me one sec here. Oops, history reopen. So just a heads up, it may take a little bit longer for me to go through the YouTube comments, mainly because they flag the comments, so I have to okay them. And I already okayed all the ones from today, so it's a little harder to tell. But if you look at comments here, there are some that usually say held for review, and usually there's like a list of like 4 or 5, especially with all the IDs, and that's no problem. I just have to okay them, and then they get published. So once that happens, I just go back and I go to the, obviously the contest video. Then I go to the comments and I go one by one and make sure I add these. My current plan is to put a heart mark next to every single one once I add them to the picker wheel. And I'm planning on doing that tomorrow. Or before tomorrow's live stream. And I'll show you guys the current updated picker wheel. Obviously, there won't be another update until we actually have the official contest picked on March, in the March live stream. But I just want to give you a heads up. That's how I'm going to go about it. So you're not like, oh, did he add me? Did he not? You'll know because you'll have a heart mark on the Facebook or web contest. And as for the 2 current members, right? Gotcha. Sorry about that, Ronnie. Yeah, you don't have to. I'm not saying like you have to, pay the $8 or whatever. I'm just saying like if you are supporting the channel, like obviously I'm paying attention to that. I will know, and I will obviously give you that S designation as well. So you have 3 chances to enter. Not trying to make a big deal of it, but yes. It will be a pretty big wheel prax, but there's going to be a lot more winners too in terms of just from one wheel. And every time you win, well, there'll be winners. There'll be a lot of winners. So that is kind of how things are going to go. Yes, I just want to demonstrate that. So that is how that will work. And hopefully that's clear. I'm going to be giving a heart mark to every single one of these once I am updating them before tomorrow. And that will kind of be that game plan. So just because you get a heart mark doesn't mean you won necessarily, because again, we're going to be doing the drawing in March for the February winners, right? The first week of March. But I just want to kind of reiterate that and let everyone know exactly how the process is going to work. Because again, this is unusual. I usually don't have my contest like this. I just want to, flesh that out. Okay, so there's that. Also, okay, so we talked about the YouTube aspect. Fantastic. Let me open up Chrome here after I close it because I have something open that I don't need. All right, cool. All right, Ronnie says, seems fair, that should come with perks. Yeah, absolutely, Ronnie. And also, obviously, if you are a member, there are other perks. They just aren't like as known. It just kind of comes in waves, and I get through everyone. I do reach out to members periodically. So yeah, no, absolutely, Rodney, there are some perks. I'm not going to disclose all of them because it changes kind of month to month depending on how many I have and who they are, really. Just because if they've, if they're like Tanya and they've been around for like, I think she's been a member for almost, I got to look at the star, but it's been a minute. So, sometimes that does come with some additional perks. We'll call it that. We'll leave it at that. But yeah, no. So definitely I do try to reach out to everyone regarding that as well. Anyway, not going to get too much tied down into that. I don't want to, I don't want to be incentivizing people to spend a lot of money. I'm not trying to do that. All right, let's hop into Hero Wars here. All right. So we're going to hop in. We're finally going into game here. Practice with the champion season and Island 8-week passes. I have over $100 this month getting pricing. Oof, that is significant. Yeah, no, I definitely am in the not spending anything currently in Hero Wars, Facebook web, mobile. I'm not spending a game. That is my goal, is to keep progressing with as little money invested in 2024 as possible. Of course, it's not everyone's approach. It's just my approach right now. Potentially could be my moving forward approach with the game currently. But if I had to do one thing, I guess it would probably be Valkyrie's Favor. But I still will say $199 every week. It adds up because you're not usually only getting Valkyrie's Favor, which kind of stinks. But hey, that's my opinion. I'm not saying it's bad or good, right? Everyone can spend money however they want. But I would say that is probably the best value if you're gonna keep doing with something. But I hear you. The map, some of these things are very enticing. But I'm gonna hold strong. I'm gonna hold off on doing any investing in the game currently financially for me right now. All right, so we are having some adventures going up right now, and again, I did mention before. I will be making a video for some newer players because I've gotten some direct comments, emails actually, asking to kind of do a, how do I get started video. So a lot of these accounts that I was seeing, some of you guys will be like, oh, wow, that is really new. So I've gotten, some people who are level 30, level 40, level 60, just starting out Hero Wars. Reach out and say, hey, Jay, trying to figure out, how to, navigate these heroes. And so I'm going to work on a video here in the near future talking about kind of how to navigate, the early stages of the game. And one of my recommendations, I think, is actually going to be kind of a team to kind of focus on, because I think it's really hard, and you guys can let me know. You guys have all been at level 60, right? Everyone's pretty much been to level 60. I've been to level 60, and obviously it's changed a little since I've played level 60, but there's a lot of, I think, factors when you're starting at a team, and I think heroes are really kind of one of the gateways into getting into Hero Wars a little bit more, so definitely going to want to talk about that. So, and here's kind of like what I'm thinking. You guys let me know. I kind of think must heroes, and I'll rehash this when I'm making the vid. I think Astaroth is a must-have hero when you're starting out, and I mean, I can go into a lot of reasons why, but I think Astaroth is a hero I should be highly recommending for someone who's level 60 and has pretty much all 1-star, 2-star, maybe even 3-star heroes max. I really think that I need to be pushing people to be these new guys to be using Astaroth. Mainly because of this last skill. I mean, does Astaroth kind of stink before he gets that purple skill? I'm going to be honest, he's not great. His first 3 skills, you really don't see a noticeable change until you get that last word and you max him out, and he's significantly better. But I will say early in the game, he's definitely a frustrating candidate hero, but I still think he's someone everyone should be focusing on. And you guys can let me know if I'm wrong or not. But that's a hero I think that goes on the list. I also think Thea, right? Thea has to be an early hero to get, because I think the heroes that you start out with are very, very minimal, right? Like, I mean, Thea, I think as a healer is kind of a must. And then you do need a damage dealer. And I really think I should be advocating players to be using a hero that's easily upgradable to like 6-star. Right? And Kenny says, pick 5 heroes, stick with that. Don't try leveling up more than that. I kind of agree. Merrick says, I think you don't need a tank to play this game. I don't disagree, Merrick, but my one question for you, and you can let me know, yeah, you definitely don't need a tank, is the tower. Right? When you're starting out with the tower and you're trying to progress, obviously you're level 60, and so you're pretty far away from level 130 unless you spend a lot of money and a lot of energy. You're not going to get to level 130 anytime soon, so you're not just auto-clearing the tower. And so one of the reasons I think Astaroth, to me, is a hero worth investing is really the tower. I mean, I hear you, obviously, arena, PvP. Do you have to have Astaroth really? Absolutely not. Do you need a tank? Not really either. But that's kind of what I'm thinking there. And let me know. Obviously, let me know. Obviously, I'm listening to what you guys are saying as well. But I do still think that Astaroth is not bad. Let's see. Okay, sorry. Praxis, I'm one of the dying whales on my server. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I feel like being a whale it's good and it's bad, right? It's great because you do have a lot of advantages, but you also it's hard to keep up almost because some of the ways that Hero Wars has implemented new things pretty regularly. Yeah, the 5 times emeralds that'll get you. I understand that. I've been there, not recently, but I've been there. And I think part of that is just I haven't played as much during those events because I've been trying to avoid seeing it. Because when you see it, you're like, it's such a good deal. But no, I hear you. I hear you. I lose all muscle control when it comes to the 5 times events. I hear you. Merrick says, yeah, no need for a tank. Okay, we'll see. Praxis, I think getting into a good guild was difficult. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. I will say, yeah, getting into a good guild. Gonna make a note of that. Getting into a good guild. And I think another tough thing, and maybe I'm wrong, is knowing what is a good guild. It's very subjective too, right? It's what is good for you. What is a good guild? Okay. Sorry, I'm taking some notes. Aurora is better, but has to be built up. Okay, Aurora. I like Aurora as well. You think Aurora is better than Astaroth overall? I just think Aurora is very good. I just don't know if she meshes as well with the physical attack team, and then that's the only reason I'm hesitant. But Rodney, I hear you. I think that could be a very good option there, right? It could be a very solid sound as well. Incognito's pick 5 heroes and stick with it. Not a bad idea either. I do think that, I don't want to be having, I don't want to push someone to use Arachne, right? Because Arachne is obviously going to be one of your strongest heroes when you start out. I don't really want to push someone to be in a position where they're almost only relying on Arachne to win matchups. It just, that's a little sketchy for me. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with Arachne long term, but I will say most people regret investing too much in Arachne early, just in what I've seen. All right, sorry, let's see. Francis, I think beginner strats are different now because it feels like light dark titans are almost easier to get than the earth, fire, water. Jim packs the dungeon and tournament of elements. That's a good point. I will make a note of that as well. I'm going to focus on this first video on Titans, but on heroes, but Titan-wise, that's an interesting point there I had not considered. So I'm glad I'm asking y'all because you guys have some great ideas here as well. So light and dark Titans. I really like the light Titans, guys. Maybe I'm wrong for saying that. I mean, dark Titans are cool, but the light Titans, man, they tickle my fancy a little bit more. I'm a little bit more into them than obviously the earth, water and fire elementals. They're great, but I do like the light Titans a little bit more than the dark Titans. Maybe it's just me. All right, Aurora's better, but has to be built up. All my heroes are skill-wise upgraded to max, and my weakest hero is Ziri. Only need to upgrade Kayla for absolute stars. Very nice there. Many non-tank heroes work good as front heroes. Merrick, I'm not disputing you there, but I will say some of these guys, again, we're talking like 2-star heroes, guys. Sorry. So just keep that in mind. Corvus is a great tank for sure. Hard to obtain though. Early at least. So, okay. I hear what you're saying. Ishmael's good. I do like Ishmael as well. I'm trying to think. I like Ishmael and Rufus, obviously. But if you're going to use Rufus, you're almost better off going for Dante, right? So you'd be better off doing one hero in each section almost. So, I mean, if I were to recommend a team here, it'd be Rufus, with Dante, right? Rufus, Dante, and then who else is kind of easy to get? Dante with Rufus. Not going to have that available. Maybe you're looking at Cornelius or Faceless here. Outland wise, probably looking at, with Rufus and Dante, are you considering Ching Mao? Are you just going Jorgen right away there? I don't know. I think that's kind of like where the question is, because obviously the more stars, right, more absolute heroes you have faster, the stronger your team's going to be initially. But I hear what you're saying about, just saying pick any 5 heroes, and I get that. But I do think that I want to be a little bit more structured in kind of what I'm telling people. And I'm also thinking if you already have Ragni pretty good, Maya might not be a bad option as well. Right, to pair with that. But if you have Maya there, I guess you could do Ishmael as a tank. Could probably also consider Ishmael or Leanne. I also obviously like Orion, but Orion's a little bit more difficult to use. And if you're early in campaign, right, we're talking like chapter 1 through 4-ish, right? You can probably look at Kira as well. Ginger's not someone I would probably recommend. Not bad, just not someone I'd recommend early. Kira is a potential option. So maybe what's best is I throw out a list of heroes that are kind of considered decent, like Kira, Heidi potentially with a rework, maybe, and I'll try to make a video on that. I haven't really looked enough at Heidi's new changes to be able to tell you how great or bad those are. I just know that they exist. I haven't looked at it yet, so I'll have to do that. But trying to see here, other than Kira, Astra, Thea, really not a whole lot of heroes I would recommend. I mean, Peppy, you're assuming they get to chapter 9, which I think is pretty far along the road for a lot of players. But merchant wise, I think this is a little bit more doable. I kind of like Chaba Maya. I wouldn't recommend Darkstar. I would say Judge is okay as well. I'd say those 3. And then I'd probably say these 3 as well. Leave Marcus off because Marcus is a little bit more difficult to control early on. Tower, I'd probably say Dante, Orion. Probably want to leave Lilith and Kai alone for now. What do you guys think? I'll let you guys kind of mull it over in the comments as well. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. And that's kind of my thought process on it as well. Is someone who's brand new to the game, they're going to struggle with kind of figuring out who's even a good hero to use early. So I was just trying to think of who's available. And I was looking at some of the heroes. I was like, wow, really? We had a very limited selection of heroes early on in game. Okay, sorry. Little off topic there. So CalNab has a pretty good overall team. Merrick's non-tank heroes work plenty well at front. I hear you. Rantop says that's an issue. If you get the golden ticket, you have to spend more to have emeralds on hand for the other events. If you get emeralds and not a ticket, you're missing out. It's just expensive. I hear that. Merrick says you can do the tower with Ishmael. I respect it. Antonio says Astaroth was my first tank. Corvus is a great tank. I would look at Julius too. I love all of those tanks you just mentioned, Incognito. I will say the problem is a new player's not going to have... Again, I just don't think they're going to have access to it. And I think Tournament of Elements, I want to say it unlocks at level 60? Man, it's been such a minute since I've had to unlock it. I gotta review like my lower levels and what level some of these things unlock. But obviously these are great heroes, but those are tough to acquire if you don't have access to Tournament of Elements. So kind of like in an interesting spot, trying to help out some newer players, just trying to remember kind of like what I did back in the day. But yeah, Maya can tank the tower to start as well. Okay. Count says, as for new Facebook players who can't afford to spend much, I propose to start with Corvus as main tank immediately because up to level 130 default skins is sufficient for him. How do you get Corvus again? Is the only way the heroic chest, or is another way? Let me see. Corvus. I like Corvus a lot. I'm trying to think of a way to get him quick, Soulstone wise. Soul Atrium currently is the only way to get him outside of Probably your daily login, right? Okay. Okay. I don't dislike it. I'm thinking, I'm mulling it over. Okay, cool. So we've got that going on there. All right. Okay. Let's see. Sisters, hello. Nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. We're talking all things Hero Wars and kind of talking about some newer players and advice for newer players to hopefully try to take advantage of in the near future, and compiling some ideas here. Astaroth is good damage sponge, but he isn't as good with Morgan, and he doesn't provide supporting offense like Aurora or Galahad from the starter tanks. That's true. It's true. I might have to recommend Galahad and Aurora as well. Other options. Anthony says, in my eye, you need at least 15 to 20 heroes at a certain point for beginners for Tower and the Grand Arena fights. I started this at getting them to Blue +2 or Violet and level 40 to 60. I hear that. Just trying to think, like, what is the best way to proceed there. That was unlucky. I was hoping for a different ult. But that's okay. Sorry. Yeah. Makes sense. I'll consider that, Anthony. I understand that approach as well. Countless is because Yasmin is so popular in the lower levels and she is part of 3 to 4 teams in power. There's no reason for low-level players to restrain from picking Celeste, Phobos, and Faceless. Okay. I like it. Celeste, Phobos, and Faceless. For Yaz, right? Okay. I will say, though, Celeste, too, like, that's like if you're spending early in game, it makes great sense. But if you're not spending early in game, it doesn't make sense. I don't know. Rodney says, early on, I wish I knew to complete skins and artifacts one hero at a time. Trying to spread resources over several leaves deep holes in your team synergy. That's a great point, Rodney. I'll definitely have to mention that. Merrick says, 15 is very much impossible for you to play. You develop your heroes in a weird way. Yasmin red +2 and all the rest red. It's a good approach as well. For me, God Eaters and AOD were too strict on what the daily minimums were. Non-aggressive and informative guild worked for me. I hear ya. Yeah, I will say some of those top spending guilds, I think are a little too into the game, which at first I didn't think was possible, but after having seen some of how some players treat the game like it is a little too real life-ish, right? There are other things outside of the game that people have to do. But anyway, yeah, no, I hear that. There's definitely some aggressive factors to consider when you're joining some of the top guilds. Whatever a top guild may be. It really depends on what your definition is, I think is what I'm going to end up staying with. Anyway, let's see. You end up with a bunch of weak heroes if you split up your resources too much. I hear you, Antonio. I think you're right. Aurora is great, but it has her limits versus Isaac. With her Ascension skills, I find she can trigger Isaac by herself before Sebastian's Otis Renity. So in the arena, I have to be careful. That is a good point. Francis says, after your first 5 heroes, you'll need to diversify your types of attackers at some point because the adventure debuffs block. That's true. Callum says, normally Outland heroes should not be picked by spending Outland coins. Qing Mao and Elmir are very good for Asgard. It's a fair point. Francis says, I got by for a long time with Arachne and Qing Mao because I got them to absolute star quickly. They were left behind and now are Clash of World options, which is, I mean, I think that's fine. I think there's nothing wrong with that approach, Francis, if I'm being completely honest. Is it like the most efficient? Who knows, really, at the end of the day. But I will say, like, that's still not a bad play, right? I mean, if players get to that point, I still think that's a success. I think the biggest issue would be players having, like, 50, not 50, but having, like, 10 or 20 heroes that are all level, like, 40, and their account level is, like, level 120, and they can't compete with anybody. I think that's a problem. Merrick says Isaac isn't great counter for Aurora. Sebastian protects her good enough if there isn't another magic damage hero on the team. Try sticking with one type of damage dealer too. I agree with that, especially early on. I think later on, maybe you switch it up, but I do kind of agree early on. You really should go physical or magic. Rantop says, I have Arachne. Slowly started Maya to break Ode to Serenity and put a lot into her. Now with Polaris, I'm feeling I wasted those resources on Maya. I mean, I don't think it's a waste though. Maya's still a very good hero, and she does still have a pretty decent ability to heal. Polaris doesn't have that. She does take, Polaris does take down the debuffs from Sebastian so much faster, but I don't think it's a waste to ever, invest in a hero. You can always use her in another manner as well. For instance, Kira is painful when starting an account. Her best skills rely on having the same level or higher than the opponent. That's a good point as well, Francis, that I didn't really consider, but I do understand that. All right, so I would have to make a Kira caveat. Pay close attention to level. And I think that goes for a lot of these heroes, but Anthony says Tournament of Elements unlocks level 60. Okay. Okay. Yeah, happy to hang out, sis Dawes. Appreciate you. Gujo, nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. We're talking about some advice and tips we'd give a brand new player, like they're level 30 or 40, kind of struggling with what heroes to upgrade. They've kind of so far upgraded a bunch of heroes and haven't really focused on, select 5. So kind of trying to help other players out there as well. Mr. Big says Heidi's a rough hero to start with. I agree with that as well. Prex says this Q&A has been one of the most active sessions I've seen. Hey, you know what? It's not bad. I love it. And we love it for that. So yeah, appreciate that for sure. Rodney says let them know some of the combos like the Bob and such teams. Building your first 5 heroes with a plan and having a second set in your plan for counters and Grand Arena. I like that as well. Yeah, Ronnie has some solid advice for sure on these PvP aspect things that I wasn't really considering, which I think are great. And obviously Anthony has some good points as well. Incognito, offering some great insights here as well. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously you guys are very knowledgeable when it comes to, and pointing out some very, I'm not going to say flaws in Hero Wars, but, some definitely difficulties to overcome early on in game. That's for certain. Yeah. All right. So we will keep going here. I'm going to go ahead and finish up this adventure here. Mojo and Nebula are musts at a low level. I love Nebula. I never really got into Mojo, but I know he can fire off mad damage. When did you use Mojo the most, Prax? I don't have as much experience with Mojo, so I'd love to hear more about that. I like Cornelius a lot. And I think I got to mention that Cornelius, someone to have as a back burner hero. Don't have to have him maxed, but I like that as an option as well. Callum says Mojo's good, but I don't see a reason for taking Mojo unless you're about to build Mush and Shroom. That's another hero. I really like Mush and Shroom. Just really hard to get. Again, so annoying that some of these heroes are really hard to get. But there's a lot to love there. Rantop says, not really, the whole team is silenced for 7 to 12 seconds, taking damage, and if Dante fires off more than once, people die or take a lot of damage. Dante is pretty dang strong, I will say. Calvin says the downside of Ragni is that after you upgrade her to orange, she starts to compete with all physical heroes, while she doesn't need any items at all. Okay. Yeah, no, I think there's a lot to be said with building the right team and having the right heroes. Don't know if I'm going to make it. I'm definitely not making a tier list for, in terms of like heroes to start with, but I will probably, people have been, you would not believe the number of requests I've gotten for a new picker or new, new tier list. I might make one, but I definitely need to drop a beginner's video well before I drop a tier list, because I just don't think it's fair to drop a tier list, because some people aren't going to be able to get some of those heroes. As I get a notification of how heroes. Anyway, cool. All right, so there's that. Sanctuary. Okay, hold on. Time out. I got to pause this conversation. Great conversation so far, but I got to pause it because I have some beef with Hero Wars. This is ridiculous. We just had, or we have currently, still have, the Pet Anomaly event. Okay. It is February. We were told a specific hero would be added to the pet egg summoning. And I've got beef because the hero, that pet, is not yet in the pet summoning. So I've got beef with heroes. Where is Vex? I was told Vex would be added in February. I know it's only February 10, but you're telling me you have a pet event and you're not putting Vex into the pet summoning? Come on, guys. Come on. All right, sorry. That was my little rant there. I had to get that out. Okay, back to the comments here. All right. Practices all the way, though. Orion beats up adventure bosses quickly. Orion is pretty good. I really like Dorian as well, but it's so hard to get Dorian early in game. Oh, let's see. Mushy and Shroom Julius will be added to 50 100 Soulstone chests in February, or so they say. Yeah, we'll see. So they say. That goes back to my rant. Where is Vex? I need him. He's desperately going to be a part of my team. I will force him into my team. No, I'm kidding. But yes, I do want to upgrade my Vex. I just need him added. Caleb says, I have no regrets for taking Kai and Lilith as my main mages, just for beating bosses. Now I can only smile how my guildmates who run Lars and Krista lack damage in Asgard. Fair enough. Anthony says, yes, Vex, where are you? Right? Come on, I can't be the only one thinking, like, I know I could drop all of these eggs, right, and have 150 summons or whatever. Could do that, no problem. But I really don't want to do it without Vex being added. Where is Vex? Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to sound like a broken record, but seriously, that's what I was waiting for this event. So I don't think I'm going to open my eggs. I'm going to keep holding on to them until we get Vex, because that's why I started saving eggs. That's why I'm going to continue to save them. Don't care about your 500, chaos portals. Not worth it to me to open up 150 eggs when I could potentially get 50 more soul stones of Vex. I'm just not going to do it. I'll wait for the next event when he's actually added. Merrick says 569 eggs waiting for Vex. It's a good amount saved. I mean, at that point, I might consider 150, but yeah, I get it. Let's see. Random says, I know where you're going with Vex. They want us to use our eggs before he's available. Yes, right? That's crazy. It's not crazy. I get it, but I hate it. It's not cool, man. Not cool. Okay, sorry. Rodney says, just now getting my Orion caught up. So many skins. That's true. Make sure to just focus, Rodney, on the skins that matter, though. Obviously, I think Orion has a couple skins. You're like, that skin's not going to do no good for him. Let me look here. Orion, I think, had one or two skins where I was like, do I care about that skin? Not particularly. Okay, hold on. I do like this full charge skill, though. Pretty sweet. Let's see. Intelligence is a must. Magic attack is a must. Armor's great. Magic pen, though, huge. I don't know if I love this skin. It's hilarious, but I don't know if I like it. I'll never have that selected, probably, but it's funny looking. I kind of like the romantic skin in terms of looks, but yeah, I guess my top skins here for Orion are Intelligence, Magic Attack, Magic Pen, Health, Armor. That Magic Defense skin's got to be last. But yeah, not a bad investment at all. I think very, very useful. Obviously, I haven't done as much as I could, but early days. So there is Orion. As we were talking about Orion, let's see. Send the screenshot. That will be added sometime in February. Yeah, no, I hear you, Anthony. I would have fully expected Vex to be added before this event. I think it's ridiculous that they didn't. I get it because it's Hero Wars and they're trying to get you to spend all your eggs. But come on, man. Come on. All right, sorry. That's all I'm going to say on it. I'm not going to get too much more into it. I will just simply agree with your comments at this point, but I'm not going to get into it anymore. I think that's more than enough said there. John says, if they do it like they did for Chorus, they added him right after an event where he had to open eggs. Yeah. I know. That's what they're doing. Anthony said, yeah, I thought they would have added him for this event. Ryan doesn't need magic penetration skin before you engage him against level 150 Osh. He's good. Ryan's good against bosses. Avoid the health skins on mages. Fair enough. I will say though, I still like the health skin on Orion when you have Dorian available. That's why, but not a mandatory thing. Level of tank skin. My favorite looking skin right now are these Thundering skins, and I don't think anyone can well, okay, obviously I like the Kark Naruto-like skin. Love this one. It's one of my favorites. And it's physical attack. No big deal. But my favorite skins have to be these Thundering skins. Like, these are dope. I'm sorry. That is so dang cool. I don't know what else to say other than Aurora skin's cool. Magic attack. And Galahad, right, has one too. Yeah, I love those skins. They look so cool. And they obviously are the main stat, right? So you can't go wrong. But I do think those are cool. I like Aurora's a little bit more. But, yeah, anyway. Sorry, that was a side note there. Got off track. They will say 30 or 31 at the end of the month, Vex and eggs. Hopefully it's sooner than that, but I get it. And this says, yep, okay, cool. They will say the end of the month, right? And then Adam will be like, oh, yeah, that was February. Classic. Random says, I think the rewards from the event might be better than an unknown number of Vex Soulstone eggs from openings. Yeah, no, you might be right. If I do it, it's going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be now. I can't get myself to open them yet. I mean, I'll hold hope that maybe they drop them tomorrow. They're not going to drop them tomorrow, but I'll hold hope that that's a possibility. Not a possibility. But yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. I might end up opening them tomorrow, but still upset. Still doesn't change things. Callum says, health skins will be good for Orion because he gains extra energy by skill. I think the health skin for Orion is a big improve. ODH is much stronger. I hear you. I do agree with Prax, though, and generally speaking, not Orion-based. Mages probably don't need as much health skin in general. It hurts them. But I will say for Orion, I think it's better, especially if you have that ODH option. I think that makes sense. So they made this map unnecessarily large, in my opinion. I know that there are like maps floating around that have been almost fully explored already. Good for y'all. Again, with my freebies, that's what I'm doing. Is it great? No. But, it's playable. All right, so there's that. Let's go to our expeditions here. Finish these off. And this is another qualm I have with Hero Wars, is they said that content creators will have access to Valkyrie's favor. And like, I talked to some other content creators, only like half of them have it available. And they haven't paid for it. So a little confused. Going to have to reach out to Hero Wars about that as well. Not sure what the deal is. But anyway, there's that. Okay, let's see. Any items we need? Sphere of Power recipe, I guess. The Dragon Shield. Always something I need. Giant Slayer. We'll pick it up. Same with Alchemist Set. Minotaur's Head. No. Yes. No. Tower Shop. We'll pick up the Demigod's Wreath. I know we'll need that in the future. Nothing major here. Let's see. Nope. Friendship shop. Let's see here. Nothing that's highly needed. Thieves Guild sign will pick up, but nothing crazy. I think that's a good start for right now. Did forget about this. Yasmin is available, but only if you are in a silver level guild. And Arachne Soulstones are here as well, so maybe Arachne is not a bad investment early on. But I will say then you do need to have the silver guild war trophies. So then we go back to the Prax issue of being in a good guild. A lot to consider. Sorry. Let's go back to that. Okay. Random says, I saw a video about Orion's health skill. Orion's fires off fast anyway. The added health didn't slow him down. Bonus, he survived a hit from Dante with the skin. Anthony says you have to laugh at Merrick's comment. February does not have 30 or 31st days in the month as there are only 28 or 29 days in Feb. I gotcha. Yeah, good comment. They'll have it added February 3rd or 30th or 31st. That doesn't exist. Gotcha. Love that. That's good. That's very good. Yeah. Count says Helios needs some rework. He's not serious counter to critical hit heroes since the arrival of Julius. Ascension of Ishmael. Corvus is a better counter against Yasmin. Amir is better than Helios. Kind of agree. You added the fully... Appreciate you, Rodney. Thank you for adding the fully open map in Discord. Everyone's going to love that. Silver trophies probably better spent on totems. 100%. Merrick says Ishmael is hard to counter by anything since his ascension. With Sebastian is unstoppable. Maybe Polaris is the solution. I think Polaris and Judge, that's going to be a problem for a Ishmael team. I think the only thing right now is that combo is not really readily available. But I hear you on that. That's a good combo for sure. All right. So one last thing I want to do here before Ishmael's a beast again. I love Ishmael. Yeah, can't go wrong with Ishmael. Definitely going to be recommending that. All right, let's see. Guild Island here, Circle of Summoning. All the Titans are available now. Obviously, fantastic. We're going to trade those in though. Let's see. I am trying to get Tenebris to Absolute. Not going to be waiting for some event where I need to upgrade. I get it, but I'm going to try to finish all my heroes or all my Titans level-wise before they come out with a new shenanigans. You need to upgrade like 80 times. I'm going to try to get these done before I have to deal with that. Got something tickling in my throat. Really should grab water. It's okay. All right, so there is that. Gonna be trying to finish these two off. Solaris, still a long ways to go. Tenebris, getting close on the level. Not on the absolute factor, which, again, slowly but surely. All right, so that's the goal here, is to slowly upgrade those. We'll be working on it, to say the least. I do think I showed you guys this before. But 3-star Dark Totem. Happy with it. Woo. All right. So anyway, there's the Dark Totem. And we've got up to 3-star. Need another 3 and another 5. So I am 8 totems short. But yeah, this Clash of Worlds trophy, I may never get these Dark Totems to Absolute. Slow going process. All right, sorry. Praxis, hopefully they don't nerf Ishmael again. I don't think they will. I think if anything, they'll upgrade the others. But I like Ishmael as he is currently. Rentop says, I was working on Maya with Arachne to counter Ishmael with Sebastian. That could work. I think if you do that and if you add Polaris, that's instantly going to work. But Polaris is someone people should definitely be keeping an eye on. And as soon as she's available, I'd be very surprised if she doesn't become more of a problem on everyone's server. Merrick says Helios isn't good damage dealer at all. I agree. Definitely need a Helios Ascension. That's what we're going to need. Gonna need it. Kevin says this for Judge. He is most likely to be more popular with Ascension of Heidi. Judge will always target Heidi by stuns, and Judge is partially immune to pure damage from Heidi thanks to the hologram skill. All right, I'm not going to get into Heidi today. I'll talk about her tomorrow. And I'm also planning on playing some Hero Wars mobile tomorrow. So you guys can maybe hang out for that. But we're going to wrap up today's shorter stream. A little long, but shorter stream in general. But yes, if you haven't, entered into the YouTube contest because you already entered into Discord, don't make that mistake. Make sure to put your name down for the YouTube video as well, or vice versa. If you're on the YouTube and you're not on the Discord, make sure to put your name in both, right? That's 2 entries, not just 1. And again, you can have max up to 3. I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. But again, yeah, so I did message some people regarding making sure if they're on Facebook or web, depending on who they are. But yes, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me here on this live stream. I got plenty of great ideas. I'm going to try to incorporate almost all of them into this upcoming beginners video. I'm going to have a lot of caveats, obviously, and it's going to be a short video. So we'll see how in-depth I can go with some of our great points that were made. But thank you guys so much for your thoughts. Random saw a video on Olympus this morning about glyphs, suggested health and armor for Polaris. I'll have to look at a lot of these. I think some content creators are really great with that, and I'll have to take a little bit more of a look. I don't know. Not everyone's perfect. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses, so I'll have to look at different content creators and see what they're talking about with some of these glyphs, and Olympus, I guess, has something for Polaris. I'll check it out for sure. But yes, thank you guys for hitting that like button. Much appreciated. And thank you for hanging out with me here on this stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Super Bowl Sunday. Have a great one, everyone.